The clock was winding down. Mahomes focused on the sideline before a crucial drive. The air inside Arrowhead Stadium felt heavy, thick with anxiety in Week 3. This wasn't just another game. This was a moment of truth for the Kansas City Chiefs. Scoreboard, tight contest. But the pressure wasn't just about beating the New York Giants. It was about saving a season teetering on the edge. And 0-3 start for a team with Super Bowl aspirations. For a team led by Patrick Mahomes. Unthinkable, not since 2011. Expectations plus an 0-2 reality created a perfect storm of tension. Every fan, every player, every coach, a loss would trigger a franchise crisis. National media would circle, questioning coaching, questioning the quarterback, questioning roster construction. Years of goodwill and championships would start to erode. The opening 2 quarters of the game were a perfect microcosm of the Chiefs' turbulent start to the 2025 season. They came out looking to make a statement, to put the league on notice that their 0-2 record was a fluke. But instead of dominance, what we saw was inconsistency and self-inflicted wounds. The offense, usually a well-oiled machine, sputtered and stalled. Drives that would typically end in points were cut short by penalties, missed assignments. It was clear that the pressure was getting to them. The precision and timing that defined their aerial attack just weren't there. It felt like they were playing with one hand tied behind their back, unable to find the explosive rhythm that makes them so dangerous. On the other side of the ball, the Giants weren't exactly lighting up the scoreboard, but they were doing just enough to hang around and make the home crowd nervous. They capitalized on the Chiefs' mistakes, turning decent field position into points and keeping the game uncomfortably close. Throughout the first half, there was a feeling that Kansas City was the better team on paper, but football games aren't won on paper. The Giants played with a scrappy determination, knowing they had a chance to pull off a monumental upset. They matched the Chiefs' intensity, and as the half wore on, their confidence grew with every Kansas City miscue. It was a frustrating experience for anyone wearing red and gold. By the time the teams headed to the locker room, the scoreboard read 10-10, a deadlock. When the Chiefs needed their leader the most, he delivered. Coming out of halftime, Patrick Mahomes knew that the first offensive possession of the third quarter was more than just a chance to score. It was a chance to change the entire mood of the game and the stadium. He had to seize control. With the weight of a potential 0-3 start on his shoulders, he stepped onto the field with a calm and focused demeanor that belied the immense pressure of the situation. This was the moment for the best player in the world to be the best player in the world, and he did not disappoint. He was about to orchestrate a drive that would remind everyone why you can never count this team out. The drive was a masterclass in quarterbacking. Mahomes was surgical. He started with a few high-percentage throws, getting his playmakers in space and building a rhythm. You could see the confidence of the entire offensive unit growing with each completed pass. He used his legs to extend plays when the pocket collapsed, buying precious extra seconds for his receivers to get open. It was a methodical and calculated march down the field, a display of poise and leadership that his team desperately needed to see from him. The drive culminated in a beautifully designed play that ended with a touchdown pass, giving the Chiefs a 17-10 lead. After weeks of scrutiny and questions about their ability to close out games, the Chiefs' defense finally delivered the kind of impact performance they had been searching for. It wasn't just about limiting yards, it was about making game-changing plays. Spurred on by the offense finally giving them a lead to protect, the defensive unit came alive in the second half. They played with a renewed sense of aggression and purpose, flying to the football and hitting with an intensity that had been missing in the first 2 weeks. This wasn't the porous group that had struggled to get off the field. This was a unit that looked determined to slam the door shut on the Giants. The turning point came in the form of takeaways. For a defense that had been struggling to create turnovers, getting one crucial interception and then 2 crucial interceptions in the second half was a massive boost. The first one came from cornerback Trent McDuffie, who jumped a route and snagged a pass that completely stalled a promising Giants drive. It was a huge momentum swing, electrifying the home crowd and giving the Chiefs offense the ball back with a chance to extend their lead. Even in a must-win game, the path to victory was anything but smooth. The Chiefs' internal frustrations were on full display. One of the most talked-about moments happened on the sideline, not on the field. Cameras caught an animated exchange Andy Reid-Travis Kelce Reid got in Kelce's face, and Kelce fired back raw, unfiltered tension. This wasn't just a coach talking to a player, it was 2 passionate leaders frustrated with sloppy play. Some call it dysfunction, often it's the opposite. While the sideline drama grabbed headlines, the Chiefs' special teams were having a nightmare. Hidden yards and points decide games, and Kansas City's play there was alarming. Kicker Harrison Butker, usually automatic, missed a field goal that would have given a cushion. The miss left points on the board and kept the Giants within striking distance, adding to the stadium anxiety. While the Chiefs certainly had their share of struggles, it's important to remember that the New York Giants had every opportunity to walk out of Arrowhead Stadium with a shocking victory. They ultimately lost this game as much as the Chiefs won it. The Giants' offense moved the ball effectively at times, but they were plagued by critical mistakes at the worst possible moments. The biggest of these were the 2 interceptions thrown in the second half. First interception, second interception. Each turnover not only killed a promising drive but also swung the momentum decisively back in Kansas City's favor. In a hostile road environment, you simply cannot give a team like the Chiefs extra possessions. The performance of key players for the Giants was also a major factor. Their quarterback, who had shown flashes of brilliance, made poor decisions under pressure, leading directly to the turnovers that sealed their fate. On top of that, the Giants' own special teams were a mess. In a bizarre turn of events, their punter was forced to handle kicking duties for a field goal attempt, and missed it badly. Missed kick reaction, dejected bench leaving 3 points on the board in a 1-score game on the road is a mistake you cannot afford to make. So, did the Chiefs save their season? Yes, for now, a win is a win. But it moved their record to 1-2 instead of 0-3, a massive difference in the NFL marathon. However, this felt more like relief than a declaration. It papered over significant cracks exposed for the 3rd week in a row. I want to know what you think. Drop a comment below.